So hello and welcome to this quick tips video. A viewer from Ålesund in Norway wrote into me and she was having problems with getting stuck in rocks in the fjords, and she asked was there anything she could do to combat this, and yes there is. It is called a rotten bottom. Most commonly it is comprised of monofilament fishing line. For the rotten bottom is what it's called. This is a weak link between your main line and the lead weight. Whether you're just using a spinning rod to fish baits or you're actually using a surf casting rod, your needs will change depending on what you're using. First of all, if you're fishing in a snaggy area, try to limit the amount of hooks you use to one is always the starting point. Just one hook on your rig will always help. A good rig for rough ground is the pulley rig. You can search that on YouTube, you'll find it. There's a million videos on it. It's very easy to make. But for this video, I'm just going to be using this Paternoster rig I have here. The first thing to remember is, if you're going to use the rotten bottom is what it's called, this is a weak link between your main line and the lead weight. It should be less than your main line. So if you're using 10 kilo line on your reel, this should be the same or less. If this is the same breaking strain as your main line, you will need to tie some overhand knots in the monofilament. 1 or 2 will do, right? That's it there. Okay, and that will weaken it. If you have 10 kilo and this is 5 kilo, you won't need to do that. First of all, what you want to do is connect the line to the end of your rig. You just do this with any fishing knot you like. I'm going to do a grinner knot. This video is not about the knots, it's about the technique. And I'm sure if you're fishing, you already know a few knots. Anyway, just very simple. Okay, so now you have it like this, and now you need to attach your lead weight to it. So then you just tie it on to the lead weight. You can use whatever knot. I'm going to use the same knot again. Slide it down. Now, when you get stuck in the rock and you pull hard, this in theory will snap and not the main line, and you should get the rig back. It does not need to be this long. It's just for the video. I would say ideally about 15 centimeters will do. This is if you're not casting very far and you're just using a spinning rod or something like that. If you're going to cast further, you're going to need to use a different method, and I'll explain that now. So this is just an ordinary link for putting on a lead weight, and I'm going to take this off the end and I'm going to put this one on instead. Now normally this would be tied on this way up, okay, because it's a bait clip originally. Just search Gemini bait clips and this should pop up. So we're going to put it on upside down, right? Okay. Yes, and then you take your mono and you tie it on again the same way as you did before. And the same again with the lead weight. That's it. So then you take it and you hang the lead weight on that little clip there. So there you go. So when you cast this out now, it's got that metal to support it if you want to cast it quite hard. Obviously, you're not pendulum casting with this on it if you have any sense and you care for the people around you. Make sure there's no one within reason close to you, 30-40 meters, just in case something does go wrong. That's it there. When it hits the seafloor, off it pops. Get jammed up, snap it off. See how easy that broke? So there is another option to this, and it's one I like myself because it's quicker and it doesn't leave as much plastic in the sea. And it is garden tie wire. This green stuff, everybody knows it. See in the garden centers, right? You put this on to your upside down bait clip. This is called a hay wire twist, right? In your mind it's going to be less strong than the way I show you in the end, right? But you go along the plastic in shallow twists, let's just say, right? And this is in actual fact stronger than the one I'm going to show you, but your mind would say to you, if you didn't know, that the other one would probably be stronger, but it's not. So then you take the next one like this, and now these come straight over, so they practically touch each other, right? They go on like that. Now, the same thing applies if you're just fishing close in. You won't need this at all, right? You won't need that bait clip at all. But if you're going to cast at some distance, you're going to need it. And so then you just bend this like this, hang it up on it like that, and the same thing applies. Hits the bottom, off it pops. So this is where it differs between the mono and this tie wire here. There you go. Off came the other end, right? Now you still got this, right? And then when you bring it back in and just twist it back on again, you don't need to tie any knots and it lasts for a few goes, right? That's it basically. So there we go. That's 2 ways to use as a rod and bottom. So I hope this is helpful. I'm Billy. I hope you liked it. Wherever you are in the world, remember, you need a rod and bottom. See you on the beach. Bye.